See that black boy over there running scared. His old man got a problem, and it's a bad one. He ain't done pawned off damn near everything. His old woman away, they go bottom. See that black boy over, and don't you think it's a crime when time after time after time people in the bottom, there's people living in the bottom. Listen to me. See that sister, the shop was fine. She's finally thinking behind the bottom. She told me, oh man, committed a crime. He's doing time, and now she's hanging in the bottom. I seen her out there on the avenue all by herself. She sure need help from the bottom. I seen her, the man tried to help her. She cussed him out and they hit him in the bottom. They turned to me, they asked me, kill her. Don't you think it's a crime? No way. And time after time after time, people in the bottom. There's people showing up in the bottom. Give another good example. You see that chick in a Rico suit there, he done damn near blown his to the bottom. He was a doctor helping young girls along. If they wasn't too far gone to have problems. But the offenders of the dollar eagle said, what you doing, man, illegal. Now he's in the bottom. And now we watch him every day. He's trying to chase the fences away from the bottom. He turned to me, he said, man, don't you think it's a crime? The way time after time, friends of mine in the bottom. There's people showing up in the bottom. Come on, hit the lick one time, stick. If you ever come looking for me, you know where I'm bound to be in the bottom. Turn around, look around on any corner. If you see some brother looking like a goner, it's gonna be me. Sing the song. Na 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 get a bottle of wine, $1.09, get a bottle of wine, $1.09, get a bottle of wine, bottle. Yeah, all that I'm concerned about is a bottle. It can turn me inside out.
Hey, welcome to the Reality Check with Charles Butler. We are broadcasting live and getting ready to bring you a good show. We're getting ready to talk a little bit with Chris Nelson about the school officials trying to end the mask mandate after an 8-year-old tells them they should go to jail. It's going to be interesting. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, Charles? Thanks so much for having me. Can you hear me well? Can you see me?
Yeah, you're a little late.
There we go.
I didn't know what was going on.
There we go. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on. Sorry, I'm a little bit late coming here. Been busy covering this special session down here in Florida. It's pretty awesome. Very historic what's happening down here right now.
Where are you?
Well, I'm down here I'm in Fort Lauderdale, but I've been covering this and watching this happen, and I've got boots on the ground up there as well. But right now we're seeing in the Florida House of Representatives just passed 4 bills. One will begin the process of removing the state of Florida from OSHA. One will impose fines on businesses that mandate vaccination, the COVID shot. Another one will protect people's private medical information. And then another one, the fourth one, fixes a horrible law that we have in Florida right now. Under Florida statute, the public health officer can send the police to your house to forcibly vaccinate you. That's actually in Florida law right now. But that was the fourth bill that.
Whoa. When was that bill passed? When was that?
That was back in 2002. That was when the anthrax scare was going on. Jeb Bush signed that into law, and there was, everybody was freaking out because of anthrax at the time. So they decided to put a law in place that says that the public health officer can test, treat, quarantine, or vaccinate you using, and I quote the law, any means necessary. Wow. Yeah, that is the law in Florida. They can. I like that entire statute stricken, but we're getting rid of the part where it says that the state health officer can forcibly vaccinate you, because we know these vaccine psychos are hell bent on getting these chemicals into each and every American's bloodstream for God knows what reason, because we know it doesn't stop COVID. Look at Florida. We've got the lowest rate in the country. Look at California, look at Colorado, look at the states that have the vaccine mandates, and they got COVID outbreaks going on right now. So we know the vaccine has nothing to do with COVID, but they want these chemicals in our bloodstream so bad. And they just want us to trust us. And then if we don't, they want to force it on us.
You know what I think, Chris? I think sooner or later, the American people are going to have to fight back on these politicians. And that's by any means necessary. These people are totally out of control. They're totally out of control.
They are. And, I was saying, when are we going to start talks about secession? Because this kind of stuff, this is the kind of stuff that was Civil War time. I mean, the federal government trying to tell the states what to do and force their will upon them.
I don't have a problem with the federal government. What I do have a problem with are the people that we elected to go to Congress to represent us, who think that somehow we've empowered them to control us. And that's what has happened in like the last 30 or 40 years, I think, starting with the Clinton administration. These people, Clinton was the first president to rule by popularity poll. Well, the polls say this, so we're going to do that. And the polls, I'm like, what the hell? I wasn't polled. I could talk to 30 people and I don't know anyone who was polled, but that's how you're turning the whole country because of some damn poll that somebody wrote that was skewed the way that they wanted to have the outcome. Okay. So we have some real problems. And when we start talking about secession, when we start talking about rebellion, I don't know if that's the answer as much as we need to remove the people who are currently in these offices.
Amen. And of course, and I want to say that of course, in the case of the Civil War, the cause was just to get rid of the evil of slavery. However, what I'm saying, and I'm saying this cautiously, is what is happening is very similar to what happened during that time period. And there are remedies, because nobody wants to fight a war. Who wants bloodshed? Who wants those things? No, but I don't think anybody raises their hand and says me. So we have these things we can do. And what we're seeing right now, and I hope all states watch, I don't think this is getting enough attention as it should be, Charles. What's happening in...
Wait a minute. I live here. I read the newspapers all the time. Newspapers, media, news, streams. I didn't know anything about this.
You didn't know anything about the special session going on right now. This is the problem right now with our media. The media creates a narrative, and they will tell you, people get their news, and they believe that Twitter makes court decisions. They believe that if Twitter puts up a banner saying that mask mandates are constitutional, that means they're constitutional. Twitter, I guess, is the Supreme Court. So is the South Florida Sun Sentinel. If they say you have to do it, then I guess you have to do it. And that's how people live their lives. Right now in Florida, a historic thing is happening in Tallahassee. Right now, as we speak, this morning, these 4 freedom bills were passed through the state house, and they will begin to remove Florida from OSHA. I call them the 4 freedom bills. this afternoon, right now as we speak, they are now their companion bills are going before the state Senate, and we expect them to be passed by the state Senate and to be assigned, sealed, and delivered to Governor Ron DeSantis's desk, where he will sign them as a great Thanksgiving present by the end of the week. Now, will that be the end of the battle? Absolutely not. There's going to be court challenges. There's going to be this and that. But this is an archetype for the rest of the states to look at and say, look, number one, a mandate is not a law. Okay, there wasn't a law passed by Congress saying we all had to get a vaccine. Okay, this wasn't passed through. This was one person's mandate. And by the way, Biden being the president, being the third Article 2 branch of government, is Article 2 or Article 2? Article 1 branch of government is Congress. So Charles, you bring up a very good point here. We need rotation in Congress. We need these guys to be term limited. Congressmen and senators are in there for decades and decades, and they become corrupt, disgusting swamp creatures. And they don't have, Republican and Democrat alike, they don't have our best interest at heart.
None.
They need to have term limits imposed on them.
But hold it. Why would they put themselves out of a job?
Well, that's where something else comes in that is a great alternative to anything anything bad that might have to happen. Is called, it's Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution, allows for the states to call what's known as a convention of states for adding amendments to the U.S. Constitution. This is something that's been going on now. That Florida's passed our resolution. Many other states in the union have passed a resolution. 2/3 of the states must pass the resolution, and then we can hold the convention of states to impose term limits on members of Congress. Go read Article 5 of the Constitution. It's right there. It was put there for a time like this.
Well, we need it because right now, I think the American people are under attack by the administration. Joe Biden is so stupid, or the people who are running Joe Biden is so stupid. They said, well, it wasn't because he shut down the XL pipeline that the gas prices are going up. Wait a minute. This SOB went over to Glasgow, begging the Saudis and begging Putin to produce more oil. He said that out of his own mouth. Yesterday with his dumb ass, he said, well, it's none of our policies that created this. It must be the competition. They're jacking prices up. They're price gouging. I swear to God, man, if there was ever a president, and I did not like Obama, not one iota, but there was ever a president that I really wanted gone by any means necessary, it's Joe Biden.
Well, I mean, he is he's absolutely awful. I mean, and I know why now the Democrats needed to steal this election so bad, was because they wanted to implement this, and it's really straight up. Like, Joe Biden is a dyed-in-the-wool communist, a Bolshevik. I mean, I
wouldn't say all that. This is just a corrupt SOB. He's corrupt. He's bought and paid for, like many politicians in Washington. I don't think he has any leanings toward any ideology. He's just greedy, and he's about himself and Hunter and his brother, and enriching the Bidens. I saw a video yesterday. I don't know if you saw this. I played it on my show. But Joe Biden, he got up from signing the executive thing, and he went to the podium, and then he turned around. They were asking him questions. He looked so confused. He turned around and he saw Jill, and he said, "Oh, a friendly face, right?" And you could see this in his eyes. I'm going to see if you see the same thing that I saw. Let me see if I can find that video real quick. But it was frightening that this guy, he looked like an old man who saw a friendly face and just ran to them.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's clearly losing his mind from a series of mini strokes that he had, but don't underestimate this guy. He is the people around him, the people pulling the strings, which is Obama. He didn't go anywhere. I mean, this idea, Obama did not go anywhere. Okay,
not at all. Not at all.
He's there. This crap, this youth in the fourth branch of government, as Mark Levin calls it, the administrative branch, in order to enforce their will on people. That's Obama. That's got Obama's fingerprints all over it. And we have this puppet president who we don't really know who's behind him. With Trump, at least you knew Trump was he was where the buck stopped. I mean, nobody. I mean, I think he listened to the liberal members of his family a little bit too much. He let Fauci run the country, which was a total mistake. But I mean, you knew with Trump that the buck stopped with Trump. With Biden, we don't know who's pulling the strings here. We don't know who's running things. And you see the rest of the world and the way it's going. We're the last stand, and now the walls are closing in. Now Florida is like the last stand right now, and it's by design that people don't know that this special session's going on because the news isn't reporting it. That's why it's so important to stay plugged into your reps and know your reps. Talk to your reps. Talk to your senators. Don't just get your news from Google or Drudge Report has turned into a complete toilet. Everybody's got you look in one direction, oh, look over here. This is what's going on. While what is the most important thing is going on right over here. But, the news won't talk about it. I wonder why the news doesn't want to talk about Florida's special session that's going on right now. I wonder why. Could it be that they don't want you to know that there is a way, people are fighting back right now in a very, very real way. And it's a threat to them because the news media is nothing but the propaganda arm of the Democrat Party. That's all they are. They are the propaganda arm of the vaccine fascists. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you it's scary. And I don't know, where we go from here and how we fight it. But I tell you, man, it's scary. It's just, we're out here trying to do our best, and we're thwarted at every angle, at every turn. We're hunted down. It's kind of like, I look at some of my friends and they go, I'm sorry. I look at some of my friends and they're totally, they're beat down. They just beat down because of the system, man. The system has not been kind.
No, and I know. I mean, I've got friends of mine. Enrique Terrio is sitting in a gulag right now. The DC gulag where they shut your water off and make you literally smell your own piss and crap for days at a time as punishment. They're gassing them in there. They're beating them up. They're not feeding them right. I mean, not giving them medical care. We have literally a Soviet style gulag, and the people running this thing are the people that would never shut up about, the poor terrorists in Guantanamo Bay. We need to give them their Korans and let them, do their little prayers and blah, 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 blah. And they were so, torture. We can't have torture in this country. What do you call what's going on in the DC gulag right now? That's torture.
It is.
But those were people that were supporting Trump. So in that case, it doesn't matter. What really, Charles, what really is most troubling to me right now is the lack of compassion and the lack of treating your fellow human as a human. We've lost humanity, but what do you expect in a nation that allows for the killing of the unborn? What do you expect in a nation that says euthanasia is okay? When you start accepting these things and you start looking at humans not as creation, not as God's creation, but just as industrious animals, then that opens the door to dehumanizing. And what we're seeing is dehumanization of people. And I saw a lot of people on the House floor today, on the House floor in the Florida House today, that talked a lot about Black people and what Black people went through. But at the same time, they will turn around and then they have no problem dehumanizing people, many of whom are Black, by the way, who are against the vaccine. Many of whom are African Americans, okay? They will dehumanize anybody that doesn't want to take these chemicals. And then say you're spreading disease. You're basically saying that we are a walking, talking weapon against other humans. Charles, this is very disturbing, because if me as an unvaccinated person is going to be categorized as basically somebody who's going around shooting people, because that's how they're categorizing us, by the way. If you listen to them, this is how they're talking. We're basically a loaded gun walking around infecting everybody with COVID. Right. Then how long is it before they're already calling us domestic terrorists? How long is it before they start calling for people that are unvaccinated to be rounded up and put in camps? And that is not an exaggeration in any way.
I know. That's the scary part about it. It's not an exaggeration. When we look at these things and when you and I talk about them, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking that, is this the America that I knew in 75? Is this the America that I knew in 80? Is this the America that I knew even under Bill Clinton? And I can tell you that these people have lost their damn mind. When a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy, and 2 + 2 is 5. And if you try to correct someone, well, you can't correct what they think. It's what they think, so it's right. What the hell? You got children dictating to parents what to do and talking back to parents and doing the parenting. I mean, where are we as a society? And then you have a system. I remember once, man, I told my young daughter, she's about 6 or 7, about 6. I said, we were having dinner at a restaurant. It was like big table, 20 people. I said, you sit down and stop making so much noise. And so, she was just acting out because she hadn't seen her cousins and her grandparents. I said, sit down and, sit. She said, I said, Sydney, sit down before you get a spanking. And she looked at me and she said, I will call DCFS on you and the police and have you put in jail. That's what my daughter said to me, right? Because that's what they teach them in school. If your parent disciplines you, if your parent tells you what to do, then you pick up the phone and dial 111. Now, Warren Moon, football player extraordinaire, Hall of Famer, lost everything commercially after his time on the field, all because his son picked up the phone and said, Daddy is beating mommy, come to the house. Well, actually, mommy was beating daddy. But he lost everything because of the system. And that's the system that we have today. You're guilty till proven innocent. And these people paint you with, it's like Rittenhouse. I was
just thinking about that.
I listened to MSNBC, and it's like this guy last night said, this guy last night, this dude, he said, well, what's the danger of being killed, being hit in the head with a skateboard? Some bitch actually said that.
You can kill somebody with a skateboard. A skateboard is a blunt object. And I don't know if they're aware of blunt force trauma to the head, but the right crack and the right part of your head with the back end of a skateboard will kill a man. Absolutely.
This is what the guy said mockingly. Oh, a skateboard is a deadly weapon. Yeah, if you get hit with it, oh yeah, no question. So,
this guy doesn't know.
It's not about what he didn't know. It's about, here is an educated professional male who is on the air talking, is expressing his opinion, and obviously he's either a sissy or he's there. You know, do you know that 70%, I read a statistic somewhere. It said that 70% of FBI agents had never had a fist fight.
That does not surprise me. These are beta males. These are beta males that they are bringing in to the FBI, and they're these little 21, 22-year-old beta males that are just they're programmed to follow orders, and they're taught that the Trump supporters are basically Al-Qaeda, and we're the terrorists, and we're the ones that we're the enemy. We're the ones to go after. The FBI needs to be dismantled. There is no reason for I know that at one point they were chasing down video pirates and stuff like that. You know, they need to go back to that kind of thing, cybercrime, stuff like that. They've become the Gestapo. They become the wing of the party. Oh, and guess what? My friend Jacob Wall, actually, Chris Hansen, an FBI agent up in Washington D.C., and is going to be releasing that. He caught one he does a pedophile sting. He poses as a 16-year-old girl, and he actually caught an FBI agent in his last sting. And I can't wait for that to come out. The people they bring in are really sissified beta males. They're not they don't like alpha males. Okay. They hate alpha males. This is why they hate the Proud Boys. This is why they hate any alpha males that step up, like a Kyle Rittenhouse. This is why they hate him. They don't want us able to defend ourselves. And they want to say that if we do defend ourselves and believe in defending ourselves and our families with weapons, with guns, from direct threats to our lives, that we are white supremacists.
Well, what about me? Now, they say the same thing about me. I'm not a white
supremacist. Charles, your skin color don't matter to them. You are a white supremacist. We're all white supremacists to them. If we believe in standing up and defending ourselves, we believe that the election was stolen. If we don't believe in vaccine mandates, we're white supremacists. Was there one black guy that Kyle Rittenhouse pulled a gun on? No, these are white guys. Why do these sissy Antifa white guys get a pass? They're being one of them's a pedophile. They're being held up on pedestals as some kind of heroes.
Wait a minute, Chris. I love the judge. The judge told the prosecutor, you cannot refer to these men as victims. You can refer to them as looters.
They're criminals. They are three
You can refer
criminals.
to them as anarchists, but you cannot refer to these three men as victims. Okay.
They're not. I love the judge, but that's what these people do. They play the victim. They play the victim, and they tattle, and they whine and cry all day long.
I laughed when the guy who got his bicep blown off. I've been laughing at him since he got fired up. Right. I've been laughing at him because here's a guy had a 9mm in his hand, got shot in the shoulder, and I'm going, if Rittenhouse had my training, his instincts would have been totally different. He would have shot the guy 3 times, and the last shot would have been in his head, and then moved on. I mean, when they say that this guy was out of control, he didn't stand up. He's got a crowd following. He's got a mob chasing him. He didn't stand up and fire into the mob, turn around and fire into the crowd. He fired on the people who were attacking him. And when I listen to CNN or MSNBC, I can't even listen to Rachel Maddow and her squelching and screaming. But this guy who got his arm blown, he said, "Oh man, my bicep got shot." They asked him on the stand, "Well, when did he shoot you?" When I pointed the gun at his head. You pointed a gun at his head? Yeah, that's when he shot me.
And to them, because
Chris. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, he pointed a gun in his head. I mean,
I'm supposed to wait. The kid was supposed to wait. Well, maybe he really wasn't going to. This is how liberals think. But you have to understand something, Chris. You need to put this in your file. This kind of mentality has permeated the law and policing in urban communities since the 60s. Anytime a black man stands up and defends himself and his family, he's the one who's criticized. He's the one who should have waited because the young man that he shot was turning his life around, even though he's in your house threatening you with a gun or trying to rape your daughter, but he is the good guy and you are the bad guy because you didn't want to help him, whatever. I mean, this is the kind of thinking and this is the kind of policy implementation that's been going on in the Black community since the 60s, dude. It's totally whack. And then you had the Black ministers who go, well, you know, he was turning his life around. He wasn't a real bad boy. I mean, he was in and out of prison, but I talked to him. He's turning his life around. And you know what I say to those preachers? He don't have to worry about turning his life around if he run across me.
Yeah, you'll turn his life around.
Okay.
You know, that's interesting you bring that up, Charles, because the Democrat Party hasn't changed. They're the party of the Ku Klux Klan. They are the party of segregation. And now they still remain the party of segregation. But at some point, they were able to con the Black community into believing that they had their best interests at heart.
You have to remember,
and I think a lot of people
Chris.
are waking up.
I'm gonna tell you,
You're even seeing people in BLM wake up. I mean, talk on that. That's
look at BLM. Listen, let me just say this about BLM. BLM is another misnomer. It's a name that was co-opted. It's just like anyway, it's a name that was co-opted. Black Lives Matter is true. We do matter. We do have police abuses going on, but Black Lives Matter LLC or the foundation has nothing and no interest in dealing with that issue of police brutality, police malfeasance, and not every cop shooting like the shooting in Kenosha. See, I got a video. It's on my computer. Got a video, and I always talk about, because you don't see this often. This one guy beat up 3 cops on the other side of the van. The only part of the video that we're shown is the cop following him around the front of the van and him going and getting in his car. But they don't show him beating the cops up on the other side of the van. So I got the video I got the real video. And this is the deal. I said this time and time again. They should have tackled him or shot him long before he reached into the car. The guy admitted, I reached into the car and pulled out a knife. Well, what if he pulled out a gun? We'd have one less police officer because this guy pulled out a gun. See, that whole thing, man, went down wrong, and the police should have been more aggressive in putting this guy down.
Yeah, and you know, they want you to believe. They want to get this idea in your head that if you are a regular American, especially if you're white, and you own an AR-15, and you love your country, and you pray to God, and you believe in defending yourself.
Chris, what kind of gun do you have? Dude,
I don't. None.
But look, man,
none that anybody needs to be concerned about.
You're absolutely right, though. I mean, if this kid Rittenhouse had not had that weapon, and I've been thinking about this during the trial. I thought about this before the trial. I thought about this as it happened. If he had not have had that weapon, he would be one dead SOB. He would be dead. There is no reason for him to be on trial, period. The fact that he is on trial, it shows where our country is. But they wanted a case where they could put the AR-15 on trial. They are obsessed with banning the AR-15. You heard Joe Biden, you don't need that. You don't need that to defend yourself. You can use a shotgun. They hate the fact that regular people can own AR-15s, because why do we have the Second Amendment? To defend ourselves against not only people that would hurt our family, but government tyranny as well. That's part of a well-regulated militia. I think the majority of AR-15s are chambered at .223, which is basically a Super 22.
It's a pistol, but they don't like the fact that you can shoot off so many rounds.
It's not a pistol, and it is not the fact that you can shoot off so many rounds, because in an AR-15, as well as a like, I have a handgun that has 18 shots in my clip. 18 shots.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
That's not the issue, and the issue is if I have a magazine that's 10 rounds. all I'm doing is reaching in my pocket, dropping that magazine out, putting another one in, ratcheting one in the chamber. I'm back in action in 5 seconds. So whether you tell me I can have 10 rounds, 20 rounds, 30 rounds, it doesn't make any difference. That's how you know that people don't know anything about guns. I know a lot about guns. I spent a lot of time with guns.
I can tell you know more than me.
So the average AR-22 that you buy in the store that people used to be able to go into Walmart and buy was basically a Super 22, was a .223, 22 caliber. Then you move up to some more serious ammunition, which is 5.56, and then of course the 7.76, which is a NATO grade ammunition. But these are different chambers. These guns are chambered differently. So when you go out and buy them, we got 22, 5.56, 7.76 or something like that, and you're fine. But the ammunition is expensive, and these people really don't know what the hell they're talking about, and it gets old. Their arguments get old, and this is what I find about those kind of people who argue against guns. They argue against guns until they need one. See,
they always had their own private security force that's armed around them.
I'm talking about the average person. I'm talking about the average person. I'm not talking about these dopes on TV and these people who have their own security team. It's like, it's kind of like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian at the White House talking about letting criminals out of jail. Well, most black folks don't want to have criminals let out of jail into their neighborhoods. They know that these are bad people. Okay. So you have all these liberals and they have all their little pseudo causes, but they don't live with these people. They don't live around these people. They have to interface with these people. A lot of these people are real bad people. And so I remember before we got concealed carry in Chicago, you'd be walking down the street as a black man in a suit, a professional, and these black guys would run right up to your face and say, "Give me $1," like you on the school playground, like you a punk because you got on a suit, you went to school, you're smart, so I know you're afraid of me. Give me $1. Whenever one of those guys would run up to me, man, I'd hit him right in the throat. First thing, I hit him right in the throat and try to drop them to their knees. And they're just lucky that I was in Chicago, because if I had been in another place where I could have really attacked them and put some hurt on their ass. So they developed a law. It was called harassing panhandling, and you could call a police officer and have them arrest a panhandler that was aggressive. So I did that a couple of times. Call the police on aggressive panhandlers. They took the goddamn law away when Lori Lightfoot comes into office. So now these panhandlers are back to attacking people. And so I'm see Lori Lightfoot will be a civilian when this new election comes. She's not going to get reelected. She's not going to get another chance. And I said that's what they get for electing a lesbian in the first place. Just by virtue of her behavior, personal behavior has something to be said. Her character is that she is what she is. I didn't say that, I'm not disparaging her. I'm just saying that she is what she is. And it's just like Pete Buttigieg. He is what he is. He has poor character. He showed that when he put some craziness. I mean, are you breastfeeding this baby? Dude, we got real.
That was so weird, man. That was so weird. And
we got real problems here, and you talking about you on paternal leave. Give me a goddamn break, okay?
And they really, we owe these preachers, a lot of them are dead, but the Jerry Falwells, a lot of, apologies, because, when I was in my 20s, it was like, I know gay marriage is against the Bible, but, they just want to be happy. They just want to be married like anyone. And then the Jerry Falwells and people would be like, oh, no, we can't. That'll turn society upside down on its head. And then but people, they had the media really did a good job of convincing people that they think that next thing people are going to want to have sex with animals or whatever. And then And then I was convinced, no, it's not going to turn society upside down on its head, because I know better than God. You know what I mean? People when we're in our 20s, we think we know better than God. But look what it's done. That's what that wasn't good enough. Now it's trans. Now it's pans. Now it's this rainbow flag and that rainbow flag, and now we need to have men breastfeeding. And now it's you can't say that men can't get pregnant. And if you Google can men get pregnant, it says yes they can. And it's like, wow. It really started with gay marriage, which started to really rapidly turn the world upside down on its head.
But how could you believe that? How could you believe that even as a 20-year-old?
Look, I think that a lot of people at that time, I mean, the 90s was a real feel good. I was a teenager in the 90s, but I mean, it was a real, I was deceived. There you go, Charles. I was deceived. And you know, unless you have a firm foundation on the Bible and on God and truth, it's very easy to be deceived. Look how many people are deceived by these masks and this vaccine. How easy it was to convince people that if they didn't wear a mask, they were going to die and maybe even kill other people too. Unless you have a foundation.
First they said, if you don't have an N95 mask, then masks are no good. They're ineffective. You need an N95 mask if you're going to effectively protect yourself from a virus. And they gave all the reasons that the other masks didn't work. Then they needed
and they really were able. And I looked around, and I don't think it was even until just in 2020 that I realized the depth of how the devil has such a hold on this world, and how so many people are just deceived. And
Lucifer has a TV show. So what the fuck?
I mean, he's got a TV show. Lucifer. It's now in your face everywhere. I mean, you got Lil Nas X on the cover of, not only is his music suck, but you know, a straight up, I worship Satan. This is who I am. And society embraces him. And let me tell you, society will embrace Travis Scott again. Right now, he's going through some things, but they will welcome him back, and he'll be more popular than ever. And I see how Satan has his hold on this world. And Charles, I didn't until this last year realize how important it is to build a foundation on the Bible, on Jesus Christ.
So why are you so late to this party?
Charles, better late than never, right? Because I'm a 90s kid, man, you know. Hey, if it feels good, do it. It's okay. You know, you can go through life just kind of coasting and just do what you want. And then at the end of your life, you know, then you come around to God. I did, honestly, and I didn't expect to be opening up to you this much, but you're a kind of guy that you just want to open up to. You've got a kind of a strong fatherly type thing there, but you know, I did not. I know I'm not the only one either. I did not realize how serious this stuff is. And it's you just adding God to your life, like as if he was some kind of you know, fairy godmother or something like that, or just kind of tacking that onto your life. It does not work. It's God is all or he's nothing, and there is no in between.
That's true.
If anything I have learned personally over this last 2 years, it is that right there.
Well, when they took God out of the schools, when they took prayer out of the schools, we should have known that we were under attack, because what separated us from the communist countries was the fact that we could pray. We believed in God. We're a God-fearing nation. Now, all of a sudden, if you pray before a football game, if you pray with your team for safety and guidance and protecting all the players that are playing the game, you can lose your job. What kind of madness is this? Where does this come from?
It comes straight from the devil, and it's something he's slippery. He gets his foot in and then convinces you that it's okay. This is okay. And you know what? This is okay. And our society just started accepting it.
And then even real big religious leaders just started accepting it, that, it's okay to allow these things to go on. We want this big deceit, this big lie that we need to be so accepting of everything, all the craziest types of sins in the world. We just need to be accepting. And oh God, Charles, if we say that we don't agree with something, we might be called judgmental, the worst thing anybody could be called. And then it's like, hey, well, you know what? You can have discernment and good judgment and stand for what is right without being judgmental. And but there's this lie that I think a lot of believers have bought, is that if I saw this happen with somebody last week, a Christian, a big Christian in my community. He called somebody out on social media in a very nice way. But, he got blowback from it. Oh, we can't judge people as Christians. We can't do this. It's wrong. It's wrong. He starts backpedaling. I said, dude, you did not do anything wrong. We're supposed to be as wise as serpents, as innocent as doves. Jesus called out the charlatans. He called people out, and he made people uncomfortable. And that's what we need today. And have that, and he was crucified for doing it. And I have that bravery and courage. It's very rare today, Charles. I know you know that.
Yeah, I do. And people pay a price. You pay a price for it. So look, man, how are things going in Fort Lauderdale? You're in Fort Lauderdale. You said you were talking about the special session in Tallahassee. Is a session in Tallahassee?
The session is going on right now, as we speak. And when I get off with you, I'm going to be going back to that session. They are, if you watch the Florida channel, they are right now debating all four of these bills passed through the House. Now they're debating the bills, the Senate's versions of the bills, and then there will be some type of reconciliation between the two bills, and then they go between the two houses. Then they go to the governor's desk. Down here in South Florida, it's like a different state. We are completely run and dominated by Democrats down here. We've been fighting the school boards. They've been continuing to mask the kids against Florida law. And then when we call them out, we get called domestic terrorists. It's a different world down here than it is in other sections of Florida. But we're succeeding. We're doing good. And if you want to follow what's going on in this special session, I don't know if you have Telegram, but I've got a Telegram channel, Chris Nelson Uncensored. And I've got a chat linked to that Telegram. It's the Don't Tread on Florida chat. So if you go, just type in Chris Nelson Uncensored. You can follow me on Telegram and see everything that's going on with the special session. I've also got a website, freeflorida.me, but really on my Telegram is where it's going on right now. If you want to follow that, Charles, and if your listeners want to follow what's going on with that, I'm going to be getting back to that here in a minute. And so I can start giving updates. I'll bet you they're passing the bills right now, but we're going to have some bills being passed, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here, because it's going to be imposing fines on businesses that try to mandate the vaccine for employees. I mean, we all have friends. I've got friends that are losing their jobs, of firefighters, nurses, healthcare workers, the people we can't afford to lose, and are being forced out because they won't have this substance injected into them, even if they have natural immunity to COVID. So it tells me this vaccine, whatever is in this thing, which I always ask people that got it, hey, name one ingredient and why you like it. I'm like, you injected something into your body and you can't even tell me what's in it? You did it because the media told you to? Are you insane?
Well, I mean, I don't expect them to know what's in the vaccine. I mean, I wouldn't know what was in the polio vaccine or the measles.
I wouldn't take that either if I had an option.
Or the shingles vaccine.
Nobody knows what's in these things.
The CDC is bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical companies.
They are. A lot of people leave the CDC to go work at Pfizer, and exactly. They're all the same people.
They're all the same people. And this has been a gravy train for a very long time. So it's not something that you and I just discovered. It's something that people know about. They know about it in Washington. All I can say is when Donald Trump comes back, He's got 4 years to turn this damn country around. He has to fire all the damn Democrats that are in these bureaucracies and these agencies. He has to fire them, let them come back and fight for their jobs.
What he should have done the first time around.
While they're fighting for their jobs, it's going to take 2 or 3 years, and we can get done what we need to get done. That's the power of the government. So, but you know, he came in and he listened to too many establishment people that told him that he wanted to be a nice guy and he'd want to piss people off. And bottom line is, I don't care what you do with Democrats. You cannot out Democrats. That's what Republicans try to do all the time.
Yeah.
Like Kevin McCarthy.
Yeah. Yeah, they got their, you know.
Why are you laughing?
You can't out Democrats, but you know what? We have a power greater than what they have. They have a
Where are you? Where are you, Chris?
Where am I?
Yeah, you don't have your video's gone.
Oh, did my video go? Okay, I thought I was just checking in with the special session. Okay, there we go. I was just checking in with the special session really quick, but you know, we just had somebody on the house. This guy Shervin Jones. He's right in bed. He's a senator here in Florida. He's right in bed with the pharmaceutical company. He admitted he was an intern with Pfizer.
Is he a black guy? We got
this going on. So I want to. What that?
Is he a black guy?
Yeah. You know who Shervin Jones is.
Yeah.
He's straight up dyed in the wool communist. He just came out and admitted he was an intern with Pfizer. You know, these guys, they're all and Nikki Fried, God forbid we have her as governor. She's right in bed with all of them. But if you want to follow more about this special session, you can follow me on Telegram, Chris Nelson Uncensored. I gotta be getting going here.
How do you get to Telegram?
My Telegram is Chris Nelson Uncensored.
Yeah, but how do you get to Telegram?
Oh, you just download the app. It's an app. You haven't been on Telegram, man. This is the place where you can speak freely without censorship, and you can download it in the App Store and just look for my channel, and you can see all what's going on. Or you can follow.
Is it a Microsoft app or just a Android?
It's an Android app. You know, you can if you don't want to download it through the App Store, you can download it from the Telegram website. But it's a great free speech area. So and then if you're still on Facebook, I'm on Chris Paul on Facebook, and then at Reopen Chris on Twitter. So You can also follow me there.
Well, man, it's been a pleasure having you aboard. It's been
thank you for having me on, Charles. This was a great discussion. I love your show. Thank you for having me on, and I'd love to come back again.
You're welcome.
If you'll have me.
I'd love to have you back. Love to have you back, man. We got to finish up. I want to finish up with that, see where we are next week with DeSantis signing that bill.
He's going to sign these bills by the end of the week. The media is going to try to completely ignore it. People are going to go nuts, but it's leading to a showdown with the federal government. And let me tell people, OSHA put a stay on this illegal mandate. Okay. It's not in effect now.
We're going to sign off Red State, but we're still out there on YouTube. So catch us on YouTube, the Reality Check with YouTube. We just signed off Red State. So I just want to play that for you. We're here with Chris. We're ending the show here shortly. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, well, I was just going to say that if your employer is telling you that they are following an OSHA mandate and you have to get the vaccine for that reason, they are lying to you. And by the end of the week, if any employer that does mandate vaccines in Florida will be subjected to fines. So do not be coerced into the vaccine. Do not stand your ground. They're hoping that you're just going to go ahead and get it because you think you have to. You don't stand your ground. It sucks. What sucks is these bills aren't doing anything about the people that have already lost their jobs, but rely on God, stand your ground, and do not do anything that's against what your beliefs are, because you will regret it. I've talked to a lot of people that have gotten the shot because they thought they had to keep their job. They very much regret it. So,
all right. Well, appreciate you, man. You know,
absolutely, Charles. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, man. Be good now.
All right. Thanks, my friend.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey guys, so Joe Biden has said, hey, I'm gonna get the FCC out to figure out who's price gouging. Joe is so pathetic. I mean, the guy is just pathetic. He said, I'm gonna get the FCC to investigate why these prices at the pumps are high. You don't need to investigate anything. Open up the XL pipeline, you SOB. When we say F Joe Biden, that's exactly what should happen. F Joe Biden. Joe says here, I'm looking at a Reuters article. It says, this is what it says, citing high gas prices, Biden asked the FTC to redouble the probe of possible illegal conduct. There's no redoubling. They already said, they've already came to their conclusion. So it says here that today, the president said there was mounting evidence of anti-consumer behavior by oil and gas companies that is keeping fuel prices elevated, asking the Federal Trade Commission to dig deeper into possible illegal conduct in the market. Bullshit. That's bullshit. The reality is they're going to come back and say, open up the XL pipeline. They've refused time and time again. They refuse to do what they're supposed to do. So look, I'm gonna play a quick commercial, and I'll be right back.
CV Science's new product to give you a healthy immune system. The all-natural product is called CV Defense, and this supplement is designed to protect you against attack on your immune system. Take it every day. Keep your immune system and you healthy. Be proactive about protecting your immune system and protecting your body by using CV Defense. For more information, you can go to empoweryourself.info. That's empoweryourself.info. Hello, this is Dan Perkins, and I want to talk to you about CV Science's new product to give you a healthy immune system. The all-natural product is called CV Defense, and this supplement is designed to protect you against attack on your immune system. Take it every day. Keep your immune system and you healthy. Be proactive about protecting your immune system and protecting your body by using CV Defense. For more information, you can go to empoweryourself.info. That's empoweryourself.info.